Blades fans, subscribe to Blades Ramble. Up the Blades.
What is happening, Blades? And welcome back to the Blades Ramble. I am, of course, Jimmy, and we are proudly sponsored by Action Coach Sheffield. If you're a growing business and you want support to continue that growth, they are the people to speak to. We're also sponsored by B&B Auto Centres, who I've just dropped my car off with today for the MOT and service. Thank you to them for their continued support. If you let them know that you're a Rambler, you'll get 50% off your MOT. Only 15 quid for an MOT. Ridiculous. Cup game round the corner. Thursday night. I will be there. Myself and Andy the Blade. Well, we're certainly considering going. I want to go. He's 50-50, I think, in all honesty. But we'll most likely be there, which means we'll be at Triple Point before the game. And thank you to them for their continued support of the channel. They are the sponsors of the warm-up. They are pre-match bar, if you like. So we will be going in to Triple Point beforehand, most likely. And what do we do? What do we do with this fixture? Play the kids. You've got to play the kids. I don't like devaluing cup competitions. I genuinely don't. But I also feel that we would genuinely be harming our chances of promotion, and we would be susceptible to further injury and things of that nature if we were to play any first teamers who are already on their absolute last legs. So we're going to get straight into it tonight, and then I'll take your comments on board from there. But this is Born to be Wilder.
Born to be wild.
Born to be Wilder is sponsored by Wellstone Landscapes. From lawn to luxury, creating outdoor elegance, Wellstone Landscapes covers most areas of Yorkshire. If you mention the Ramble, you'll get 10% off any work done. Call Paul now or find him on Facebook via the link below. So this is Born to be Wilder, and this is my team to play Cardiff City. And the main focus, as we've already talked about, is resting players. So here is my lineup, and this is the team I would pick, not the team that I think Chris Wilder will pick, because I think, first off, in goal, he'll go differently to me. I think Chris Wilder might go for Adam Davis. I've gone for Luke Faxon. I think the young kid who's not long signed a new deal at Sheffield United, linked with Man United when his deal was coming up to expiry, really highly rated young goalkeeper, yet to make a senior appearance for Sheffield United. And I'm really keen to see what Luke Faxon can do. Also, in this side, there'll be players that you'll see that have played with Luke Faxon as well. So it's further harnessing that relationship they've got with him. There's already a bond and a trust, and they know how he works. I think that's important. So, yeah, Luke Faxon gets the nod in goal as my starting goalkeeper in the Cup. Moving into defence, and this is quite the patched-up defence, to be honest. It shows just how light we are in terms of depth. What I've tried to do is give all of our regular starters a rest, because I think we've been dead on our feet. Hopefully, come Norwich, we'll have reinforcements here ready to go in terms of new players, 2, maybe 3, certainly expecting a couple, and also bodies back. So the rest isn't absolutely essential for everybody, but we've been through such a tough period of fixtures. I wanted to give everybody as much of a rest as possible. Now, again, I don't necessarily think Wilder will do this, but this is my team. And at right back, I'm going for young Sam Colchin, a lad who, in all honesty, I'd not heard of until he was in the matchday squad a few weeks ago. Having done a little bit of research, he's an attacking right back. I don't know much else about him, to be honest. So we could play Sam Curtis here. If we play Sam Curtis, we're unable to send him back out on loan, because you can't play for 3 league teams in a season. It's league teams because Dave the Nose rightly pointed out he really knows. He could go to the National League, but do we just want to be limited to sending him out to the National League? Perhaps, perhaps not. We may opt for Sam Curtis here, which would likely mean he either stays with us for the rest of the season or he goes to the National League on loan. I'm going for Sam Colchin just to be safe in terms of who we've got. It's not a priority for us this season, isn't the Cup promotion is the priority. Next to Colchin, I'm going for Jamal Baptiste, signed recently, from Man City, West Ham Academy boy. Huge potential in this lad. Obviously, they think highly of him being fast-tracked into the squad so soon after signing. He gets his chance at right centre-half, which I think is his natural position. And we'll see what he's made of. And it's another really young selection. But I don't think it's not worth risking an L. You might want to play Jack Robinson in this defence, but I'm not even playing Jack Robinson because next to him is Reece Norrington-Davies. I think Reece, predominantly a left-back, but with so thin on options for centre-half, he has been playing as like a makeshift centre-back. So he's going to get his chance here in this game to play centre-back. And all things considered, Reece probably gets the armband for me in this game. Left-back, I'm going for Harry Boyes. And this was a shout from Man Mountain.
This is the view from the mountain.
During our Ramblers exclusive, 3 Mardy Blades last night. If you want to give that a watch, you're more than welcome to join us on Patreon and support the channel that way. I showed them my team and I've tweaked it slightly since because I don't want to play Tom Davies. I don't want to play Sidney Peck. And by including Harry Boyes, Man Mountain showed me a way that we can do that. So Harry Boyes is our left back. It feels like a make or break season for Harry Boyes. I think 3 recent loans to League One and not really pulled up any trees. I do hold out some hope, however, because of the success of Femi Sariki at Sheffield United, despite having poor loan spells away from the club. Yet Femi's come back and played really well, hasn't he? So I'm not overly concerned in that regard. But Harry needs to take his chance. It's coming to that time where he's either going to kick on or we're going to have to part ways, I think. So it'd be nice to see Harry get a chance here. Moving into centre midfield, I'm going 3 across the middle here. A little bit of a different formation. I'm going with Sam McCallum tucking in as a left centre midfielder. Now, it's square pegging around hole. I understand that. But this is the situation we're in at the moment. I had Andre Brooks here originally with McCallum as left back. But again, that would mean playing somebody in the centre, such as Tom Davies or Sidney Peck, who just haven't got the legs at the minute. They look absolutely out on the feet. So I'm putting Andre Brooks in the centre. He's traditionally a centre midfielder, done very well out on the right-hand side. I think giving him 90 minutes potentially here would do him the world of good as somebody who's going to see the full game through. He's got 9 days to rest, hasn't played as much football as the rest of the team. Andre Brooks is going to be the centrepiece of that midfield trio. And to the right of him will be Billy Blacker, who has been pushing for more involvement, made a few match day squads, played very well for the under-21s. Billy Blacker makes it in on the right-hand side of midfield, and hopefully he can take his chance. And speaking of taking the chances, somebody who a lot of the fans are crying out for, I've got him playing in the number 10 role, the Mark Duffy role, if you like, in this side, because there's no wingers involved today for me. Louis Marsh. Louis Marsh gets his starting berth in the number 10. We've not really seen the best of Louis Marsh, I think it's fair to say. But games like this, you don't really know the standard of opposition, because if Cardiff want to rest a few as well, then this is maybe a chance for some of our young lads to make a mark and say, look, I can take responsibility when you give it to me. Louis Marsh, we all know, has got a lot of potential. A huge fan of him on this channel. He's always been very engaging whenever I've reached out to him. So Louis Marsh gets the nod in the coveted number 10 spot. And up front, 2 lads who have been involved in the first team, but you would not say are firm starters. I'm going with 2 strikers here. So that's my formation, 4-3-1-2. And I'm going with Ryan Brewster and Ryan Oney. I want to see how they are as a partnership. I think they've got individual strengths that could complement each other. I think it's going to be interesting seeing how we go with 2 up front, but also without trying to sort of make out like this is a tactical revelation. It's also because with so few players to choose from, and it just highlights again how important January is. 2 forwards there that have got the potential to work well together, hopefully. So Brewster out of contract at the end of the season. Every time he pulls on his shirt, he should be doing all he can to try and earn a further deal. Ryan Oney, does he stay with the squad or does he go out on loan in January? Just recently signed a new 5-year contract, which is great news for the club. A real strong prospect going forward, but can he offer us something to the first team? This is his chance to impress, isn't it? Particularly if we're going to strengthen in this window and he's going to get some significant competition. So it's really interesting to see. So this is my team. Just a reminder, we're going Faxon in goal, Sam Colchin right back, left back Harry Boyes. In the middle, it's Jamal Baptiste and Reece Norrington-Davies, who I'm giving the armband to. In the middle, it's a midfield 3, Billy Blacker on the right, Sam McCallum tucked inside on the left a little bit with a bit of license to go out wide left as well. And Andre Brooks, the linchpin in the middle. I'm going Louis Marsh in the 10. and it's Ryan Brewster and Ryan O'Neill up front. Not the most formidable Sheffield United lineup we can put out there. We know that, but it's our second team essentially, and it shows how weak we are in terms of under the surface of the first 11. It gives our first team squad much needed rest, and hopefully everybody comes back stronger from it. So that's the team I'm going with, and that was Born to be Wilder.
Born to be wild. In the game, Blades Ramble, spreading fame.
What is that all about? He says, knowing exactly what it's about. Wow. So there's, looks like there might be something going on there with the channel and the club, perhaps. Might have to stay tuned and find out what that's all about. But the team, it doesn't make for good reading, as we've just said. What do you think? I know. He'll likely go a lot stronger than that, but do we need to? It's not throwing the game per se, but it's showing how desperate we are to keep players fit for the league campaign. I think that's probably the primary reason for that selection. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. So Tom starts us off tonight. Good evening, pal. We can't risk it. 11 changes needed. I think that's where I've gone with. Other than Brooks. Brooks started into last game. I think he hasn't played as much football as everybody else, so he can potentially get away with that. Billy says, me too, the kids are good enough to beat Cardiff. Corinthos play, good evening, pal. I think that will... I've got this blooming big thing again. I don't know if it's because they're on Facebook or... Because we're going out live to different destinations. We're on Facebook, we're on X, and we're on YouTube tonight. And one of them definitely triggers a bigger speech bubble on my face. So couldn't see Dave Leary last night on on Three Mardy Blades because of all stuff popping up. I think that'll see some of the lads who need minutes start. Reece Norrington Davis, Brooks, McCallum, Brewster, and possibly more if he's over his illness. I also think we see Baptiste, One, Marsh with goalkeeper Davis. We are very much on the same wavelength, aren't we, pal? Bryce says, no Easton, Hampson, Marsh, One, Baptiste, Blacker playing for the under-21s tonight, so you can bet unless injured, they'll be involved on Thursday. Well said, Bry. That reminds me, actually, I did also upload the team. This is tonight's Blades team to play the Burnley under-21s. I believe they've kicked off. But this obviously, like Bryce says, gives us an idea. So Luke Faxon's in goal. I think we're a goalkeeper. As long as he gets through the 90 minutes, there's nothing stopping him playing 2 days later. But as you'll see there, there's Harry Boyes involved. So that maybe takes him out of our team for Thursday. Maybe it does mean McCallum comes back to left back and we go with somebody else in the middle. We'll see. We'll see where he wants to go. There's only Sam Curtis elsewhere that we mentioned in there. A lot I've said for Dovis Sasnaukas to get a look in, but he's actually out on loan at Buxton. So while he can come back and play under 21 games, he's not available for the first team. He's only there for a month as well, and he's halfway through. So it's fallen at an awkward time, really. But he's out on loan at the moment, so can't come back and play in the cup. Where were we? So Jamie Dumpling says, I'm going to this game along with 100 other people in attendance and could not give one monkeys about the result. Fair dues. Obviously, we want to win. We want to win. You can't say any other, but it's not the priority, is it? Scott says, where's all these signings we were promised? 7 days in and 0 players. Get the Americans out. Absolutely right. Laughing emojis for those that are listening on audio platforms. Scott is being sarcastic there. With probably a needle of, actually, where are they? Nige says, good evening, pal. Hope everything's well. It is, mate. I hope you're well too. I'll say what everyone's thinking and wanting. Under 23s to play. End of. Like and subscribe. Up the Blades. Up the Ramble. Up behind the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Thank you for pushing our second channel. That's very much appreciated. Best deal Blades can do is to pay Leeds £1 million to keep Melier, says Dino. Money well spent. Yeah, it looks like he's staying. And what a coup for Sheffield United that'll be, because he is awful. Awful. Connor on QI, Ben giving it large, lol. Yeah, Connor and Benjamin Bloom have done a stream. I'm on stream with Connor tomorrow, back for Battle Lines on the One Leeds fan channel. So I'll see you there, and then I'll be back for a 90 after 90 following the Cardiff game, because I will be there, hopefully, on on Thursday night, so we'll be doing that Friday probably. L-Dog says, are you aware if deals for Hamza and BBD are done, Jim? Nothing's done. Done. We talked about this on the channel, and I'm not blaming you, L-Dog, because that's a genuine question. But in our chat, it's going mad about, some people are going mad about, where's the deals? What's happening? Is it happening? Is it true that we're signing Brereton Diaz? I was told it were done. Chowdhury, I told it would. The only two players that I've said are most likely to happen is Ben Brereton Diaz and Hamza Chowdhury to Sheffield United. And that's because they were first confirmed elsewhere. I wouldn't have put those names out there without somebody else talking about them. Deals were in place and perhaps are in place. That doesn't mean they're done. You'd still have to get a medical over the line. That I do have, concerns about Ben Brereton Diaz and his long-term fitness and things like that. With due cause, I'd be surprised if we made it an option to buy. But an option's fine, isn't it? We don't have to exercise that. It certainly, hopefully, won't be an obligation. Hamza Chowdhury, I think, is an outstanding deal. I think if we can get these two done, it fills two huge holes in our side. And the hole at the moment is Vinny Souza's absence, which hopefully we're close to a resolution on. But Hamza Chowdhury is a direct replacement for Vinny Souza. Obviously, they're different players. They offer different things. And Hamza Chowdhury is not quite the player that Vinny Souza's been showing that he is. But he's a fantastic, almost. We've got nobody else quite like that. Hamza Chowdhury will be that man. And I also think they can play together in the same team as well. I don't think it's a waste to bring him in as a backup to Vinny, because I think as well as doing the Vinny role well, I think him and Vinny as 2 sixes in the team would be great. And it'd allow people like Gus Hamer, Callum O'Hare to push on even further. I don't know whether people are wondering where everybody fits in. Can you imagine a midfield five? Call it a midfield five because there's different ways of sort of phrasing it. But you could have Hamza Chowdhury and Vinny Souza sitting. You could have Callum O'Hare in the 10. You can have Gus Hamer on the right and Brereton Diaz on the left. And then you've got Andre Brooks, Raksaki to come off the bench. There's all sorts of options you can go with that. You could even move Gus back a little bit and rest players as and when you need to. I think the only thing gaping for me then, I know people want a striker. We need a centre-half. We need a centre-half. And all quiet on that front from what I understand at the minute. Matt says, for those who aren't going to the game, it's on BBC One Wales. Oh, interesting. Thank you, Matt. That's helpful, actually. If I don't go, and it's a big if, because me and my dad have already talked about going, it's just he's been a little bit under the weather recently, which he blames me for because he thinks I've given him it. I'll do a watch-along if... it might be on behind the right. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I might do a watch-along if I don't go to the game. Scott says, Faxon's playing for 21s tonight, as well as a few others that I expected to play against Cardiff. Scott says, you should have checked my tweet. I did, mate. I saw it, and I'd already put the screenshot up because Brian mentioned it in our chat as well. Thank you for keeping me posted, mate. I always appreciate people giving me heads up on stuff. Seen murmurs of Brewster and Dolan swap deal from a Blackburn forum, says Harry. Do you know if there's any truth? I hope so. I hope so. And that's no offence to Ian or Beast Boy or any of the other Brewster fanboys. Dolan is a player that I think improves us. Brewster is struggling. It's fair to say. I really like him as a player. He's done bits for channel where he's sort of said up the Blades Ramble and stuff like that. I really like him. He feels like he fits into, but you can't let sentiment get in the way of a successful team, can you? He might be the nicest guy in the world, but if he can't hit a barn door, you're struggling. Well, it's meant to be on in half an hour. Yeah, Jamie, apologies, mate. I have usually I take my daughter to football training on a Tuesday night, 6:15. So I always put the schedule for 7:30 because I'm never going to make it in time. It was cancelled tonight because of weather, so I've moved it forward last minute. So that's my mistake. If people are catching us late, that's on me. Sorry about that. I didn't realise it were 7:30 tonight. It lost me until I came to log on. Nige says, supposedly BBD has been seen at the academy and talks very close with Chowdhury. The video circulating of Brereton Diaz today, if you've seen it online, don't get caught by it. It's last time's video when he first signed for us when we were in the Premier League. He's got long hair. It's not an up-to-date video. It's somebody having a laugh, which is easy to catch fire in times like this, isn't it? Just watch Connor and Benjamin Bloom talking nonsense, says Andy. That, to be fair, I mean, that's your. I like both. Obviously, you know, I work with Connor. We've had Benjamin Bloom on this channel. I'm a big fan of Benjamin Bloom. Connor, I think, talks sense for a Leeds fan, but I get on really well with both of them. So, if I wasn't on, I'd be watching that myself. Sam Curtis needs going back out to have another chance to sort his attitude out, says Nige. How do we know it's his attitude? Do we know? I'm asking that actually, rather than sort of saying, I'm not dismissing it. Do we know it's an attitude issue? I'm not sure. I don't know what the issue is. I think it's just not hit the heights that we were hoping for at Peterborough. And yes, it's been sort of badged as United have recalled him. By all accounts, it's more they have terminated the loan. Rai says, can we make unlimited changes for the cup game? I believe so, yeah. I believe so. Martin, evening, Jimmy. Love a cup run, but the Prem is more fruitful. Play the kids, up the Blades, up the Ramble. Thank you, pal. Pixie says, now then, Jimmy, we might have Brereton Diaz, Chowdhury, Barry, a new centre-back, and all the injured players back by Thursday. Like you say, play the kids, rest the main boys. Barry is an interesting one because he's been linked to Derby. Of all clubs, he's been linked to, and that, I don't mean, you can't not say that disrespectfully, but for all the options on the table and positions in the league currently, you wouldn't have thought Derby would be his first choice in terms of the offers that he'll have. But Derby are the closest to getting him at the moment, apparently. But that's already changed before because Borough had been linked to him previously, and that's not come off, has it, either? So is that Brooks in the Sousa role? No, it's just Brooks in centre midfield. There's nobody in the Sousa role, to be fair, pal. You can't. And that shows how desperate we are, doesn't it, for some sort of, you know, some sort of help in the middle. It's how light we are, mate. Nige says, I wouldn't put McCallum or Brooks in at all. Can't take that chance with them. Brooks has got his form back and McCallum's cover for Burrows. So who else, Nige? Who else? I was struggling myself. Again, it's an open thing, isn't it? You play who you want. Boys has just scored a free kick for 21, says Harry. Fair play. Might just put himself at window for Thursday night. Danny Boy says, Cup isn't a priority. Going up is rest the majority of the squad. Stick Davis in net. Back four of Baptiste, Curtis, Reece Norrington, Davis and McCallum. Midfield of Brooks, Boys, Blacker and Marsh with Brewster and One up top. Okay. Jace likes the team. Thank you, pal. I'll be at the game. Pre-match drinks in the Porter Brook, says Walter. Fair dues. Fair dues. Hope you have a good time, pal. Our pre-match watering hole is Triple Point, as you know, sponsor the channel. Wouldn't risk any starting 11 in the Cup, Jimmy. Squad's not big enough with all injuries we've got. And have Brewster as captain. Okay. I'd put our youngsters out against Cardiff. That Cardiff City team, we would definitely give them a run for their money. Michael says, Jimmy, surely you'll want to go far in the FA Cup by putting out a weakened team. Sends out the wrong message to Cardiff City. So I'd say we play our main boys, Michael, and Nell gets injured. And I know that could happen any game, but what do we do then? What do we do? My dad's put frighteners on me, to be honest, because he said, and he's right, we're one Nell injury away from a disaster. You could say the same about Michael Cooper, but it's more likely to come from an outfield player into an injury. And wow, I just cannot risk the main. But I'm not saying you don't. You could maybe put some fringe players in, but you'd say like Tom Davis and or Pecker fringe players, and that's fine. But they are the ones that look like they need the rest the most to me. They look absolutely out of it. So I'll agree to disagree with you on that, Michael. Normally, I would like to respect the cup competitions, but I just think we're so vulnerable at the minute. No to Brewster to captain. Danny Boy, I agree with Jimmy. Reece Norrington Davis, says Nige. Adam Davis will start in goal, in my opinion. I think so too, Dom. I think that's what Wilder will go with, but I would start Luke Faxon personally. Adam Davis may not be here after this season. Luke Faxon hopefully will be. If we're gonna blood some youngsters, what's the harm in playing a young goalkeeper? There's not going to be a huge crowd there. It breaks his duck of playing for United, doesn't it? I think it's a I don't see the harm in it at all. You'll be surprised how good and mature those youngsters are, says Walt. Danny says, we've got to get a few in now, Jimmy, especially with Hamer injury. It need 2 midfielders, 1 centre-back, 1 striker at least. More if we're sending the youth out on loan. Smash that like button, guys, says Pixie. Thank you, pal. L-Dog says, how many do you think we'll have in for Norwich, Jim? I think at least 2 more with somebody's back. I'd like to say 3. But I think we'll have at least 2 in. And people have mentioned Brereton, Diaz and Chowdhury. I think that's probably quite likely at the minute. I'd love a centre-back. I think we desperately need a centre-back. Nige says, you can look at it this way. It'll be a great experience for the young lads. Win or lose, it's minutes in a first-team experience needed, and it will do them a world of good. I completely agree with that. Andrew's also saying that boys have scored for the 21s. Nice free kick. Carl says, agree with the team, but don't care, to be honest, about the FA Cup this year. It's all about going up the Blades, up the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Thank you, pal. Jamie says, thoughts as Snowcus was out on loan. He is, pal. He is. I can't see Curtis playing. If he plays for us, he can't go out on loan again, says Liam. Yeah, I agree. Well, I can see him playing, and then I can see him staying in reserves for the rest of the season, but I'd rather he went out on loan. They're not even showing under 21s live. Says what? Oh, they're not showing it. All right, fair dues. Jamie Dumpling, it's sticking. It certainly is. Benjamin Buffoon, I hope we lose. Oh, you can't say that. You can't ever say that. I would rather have another round of experience for the under 18s if we need to have, but you can't hope we lose. Just need to focus on the league. Yeah, we do need to focus on the league, but wow. Ray says, love the FA Cup, but needs be, so we have to play the most weakened team possible. The league is paramount. Up the Ramble, up the Blades. Like and subscribe. And Honest Bob says, disagree. I actually like Melier. Was brilliant for them in the Prem. Just seems like he clearly feels the pressure from the Leeds fans. I'll be saying exactly the same tomorrow, Bobby, on Battle Lines. Justice for Melier. Justice for Melier. He's rubbish, in my opinion. Rubbish. We might be getting centre-half from a League One team, but I'm saying no more, says Lee. Centre-half from a League One team. The only one I'd be interested in is Tyler Bindon at Reading. But what we want is an experienced centre-half. A tough centre-half. Jimmy, what about them at Bernie Rumours? What about them, Michael? No. I don't think there's any legs in it. I don't think it's right. No, can't see it happening. And I know certain members of my family will be all right with that. Jackson says, I've read that we're thinking about signing Charlie Savage and Lewis Kumas. Is it Lewis Kumas? I know it's Kumas, isn't it? He's the midfielder forward at Stoke, and Charlie Savage, the Reading midfielder. Robbie, two juniors that you'll. I remember their dads playing, Jason Kumas and Robbie Savage. I don't think they're what we need, to be honest. I mean, Lewis Kumas might be okay because he can play on the wing. Charlie Savage, he's a young midfielder. I'm not sure what he gives us that Sidney Peck doesn't give us. So you wouldn't sign him for that reason. What Wilder's talked about is players in necessary positions, which is left wing, surely centre half. And yes, we do need a centre midfielder, but if Chowdhury's come in, he wants experience as well. People who've been in the league and experienced it, and those two don't fit, do they? What do I think about? Oh, sorry, I've just done that, haven't I? Andy says, good evening, Jim. The Cardiff game is a warm-up for Norwich. Some players up the Blades, seen on Facebook, BBD at Shirecliffe today. Don't believe it, Andy. Don't believe it, pal. It may have been, but it's not from the video that's been circulating on Facebook and other sites. Campbell posted on Instagram while tagging Raksaki, hopefully hinting they're ready to go versus Norwich. Brilliant. Love that. Love that. Tyrese Campbell back would be great. Andy says, heard swap deal for Brewster and Dolan at Blackburn, both out of contract in June. Yes, please. Yes, please. Great Bant says, Penny for your thoughts. Should Hamer have accidentally got a yellow last match? Yes, he should. But it wasn't to know that he was going to get injured, was he? It's easy to say that in hindsight. Maybe, what does he do? Kicks ball away as he's going off to try and waste some time. He isn't going to be playing Thursday anyway. That's one of his too much ban gone. Then our players are back for Norwich. I thought the same, Great Bants. I thought maybe, that, but that's probably wanting a little bit too much into it. I think Hamza is more of a replacement for Arblaster than being similar to Souza. Fair dues. Fair dues, mate. Are we no longer interested in Cannon? Would love him here. Saw the Pigs and Luton were after him. Up the Blades, up the Ramble, up behind the Ramble. Like and subscribe. Yeah, we like Tom Cannon. We like Emil Rees. I I don't know how far along they are, though. They're not ones that I've actively heard about. My resignation's in the post. No, Ian. Apologies, pal. He's our gatekeeper in the Ramble chats and president of the Ian Brewster fan club. Do you think Diaz will play on Thursday if he signs? I would like to see him get some minutes if we can get him in early doors tomorrow. He's hardly played anything, has he, at Southampton? And as I say, I'd like him to grease the wheels a little bit, because then you're more confident playing him against Norwich, aren't you, if he can get through 45 minutes, for example. David, thank you so much for the really generous super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you. You agree playing the kids? Yeah, absolutely. Just been on Sky Transfer Show. It says, Bri, Ben Burton Diaz closing in on a move, but still work to be done. They've been saying that for the last 48 hours, I think. Imminent. That's the new word, isn't it? Forgot to say like and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up the blades, up the ramble. Thank you, David. Appreciate that, pal. Barry will get more games at champ level with Derby, says Dino. That's the thinking behind it, which is true. Up the blades, up the ramble. Do you not think it... That's true if we sign Brereton Diaz into it. It'd have to be Barry or Brereton Diaz for us. So if we don't sign Brereton Diaz and we sign Louis Barry, he's got to be our starting left winger, surely. And then it's his shirt to lose. But yeah, he'd play every game for Derby, wouldn't he? So I understand that. Andy says, heard a rumour we're buying Bannon, then sending him out to Carlisle for the season. No, thanks. No, thanks. Bryce says, forgot up the ramble, up the blades, up behind the ramble, like and subscribe. Kieran says, evening, Jimmy. As much as I'd love a cup run, it could be way too costly to our energy reserves. Still hope we win as always. Up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. 3-1 United a win, says Walt. So difficult to predict in it when you've no idea what team either side's going to play. I'll go for a 1-0 United, because I'm expecting Cardiff to field a weakened team as well. Peck's extra time sprint from box to box, unreal. I know. He's certainly bought into it, hasn't he? Westwood says, never taking the chance of injury, upset Cardiff or potentially lose Premier League football. Shame with Brewster. He has the Blades attitude, but he just can't find his form, unfortunately. I thought Holgate was on his way to the Blades, but he's signed for Ipswich on loan. When you say Holgate, you mean Ben Godfrey, don't you, Michael? Yeah, we like Ben Godfrey. We were talking to Ben Godfrey, but he's obviously got a chance of a Premier League move now, so he's gone to Ipswich on loan. That's absolutely understandable. Craig says, we aren't good enough to go up, not strong enough team, not stronger enough team, need another season in the champ, says Craig. Okay. I don't... You take it, though, don't you? You take it, and if we can squeeze over the line and get another 120 million in the bank or wherever it is now, absolutely. Anything on Oxlade-Chamberlain? No, nothing, Ben, nothing, mate. I'm talking a very experienced defender, but been told not to say anything else. Oh, not Paul Dummett. I'm not interested in Paul Dummett. If it's Dave the Nose that's giving you the info. Oh, dear. Evening, Jimmy says, Paul, if you told me a couple of years ago that we'd be playing a team from another country in a cup competition on a Thursday night, I'd have laughed in your face, up the blades, up the ramble, like and subscribe. Nice one, Paul. Nice one, mate. Danny says, rumours rife about picking up a Danish kid midfielder, supposedly playing really well, and we can get him on a perm for €3.5 million. Just hope it's not another Koulibaly. Not happening, Danny. I think Danny Hall's already kiboshed it. Is the ex-Ajax youngster into it? Is it NEC or something? I saw BBD at Shirecliffe and then realised Nowden has reposted it from last year. That pesky Nowden Blades. Is Savage left-sided? I'm not sure, you know. I'm not sure. Fatty folk. I'm not sure. Yellow cards are competition specific, so it wouldn't affect the cup. Are you sure? Are you sure about? I'm genuinely not sure. I thought it was domestic competitions versus European competitions. So I thought they would be concurrent with cups and league. But, you know, as I say, I don't know for sure. A suspension wouldn't have counted in the cup game, says Scott. Rules changed. Oh, the rules have changed. Fair enough. So they missed 2 league games anyway. Are we actually going to get a left winger? Because I would drop Hamer, O'Hare or Brooks out on the right. Even though we all know we need a left winger. But who do we drop? Oh, you wouldn't drop. I think if you get Brereton Diaz in, Brooks is the one that drops out into, even though he's hit some great form. But then you've got the luxury of going with the hot hand, haven't you? You've got if somebody starts underperforming, if it's O'Hare, for example, then you can bring Brooks in, move Hamer in the middle. and Brooks goes out wide right, there's loads of options then, isn't there? You've got strength in depth, which means we're not relying on the same players every week. And if they put in a 6 out of 10, they don't automatically start the next week. Dylan says, if we were to get Reese, he would start over Mort. Would he start over Mort, assuming Campbell's still out at the Blades, up the Ramble? No, I'm not sure, you know. Depends. It's probably game specific, isn't it? And what we think about the opposition and how we think we can break them down. I just think it gives us options with a different type of striker who's a more of a natural finisher. I think Tom Cannon's better than Reese, if I'm honest. Jimmy, can you bring yourself to support the Pigs when they play away to Leeds a week on Sunday? No. You can't do that, Michael. You just can't. There's some things you can't do. I'll be doing a watch along for that. A Rivals watch along on Behind the Ramble. If you're not already subscribed, please do support us. The link's in the description. But yeah, it's not something I'm looking forward to. Carl says you can't support the Pigs. Would love Jimmy Dunn at QPR. Reminds me of Suter, great defender and great attacking threat. I'd really like Jimmy Dunn. It's somebody that Lee Edridge has been pushing for in our chat for a long time as a sort of under the radar signing. I think he's out of contract to end of season as well. Really good signing that would be. Really smart move. Probably quite cheap as well. It's going to be Youth FA Cup, says Nigel. I know it is at this rate, isn't it? Support the Pigs. Are you mad? Says Carl. It's never going to happen, is it? Evening, Jimmy. BBD every day over Barry. BBD can do it in the champ, and he knows the club up the Blades, up the Ramble. He is the more proven prospect, isn't he? I've played more football this year than Brereton Diaz, says David. Matt says, saw something. Pine saying yesterday, might be letting Evan Ferguson go. Might be loaned out to a champ club. Probably rubbish, but I'd take it. You'd take him. He walks into any championship side. There's no way. He's been linked with Premier League clubs on a permanent basis. I think Arsenal were the last team I heard linked with him on a permanent move. So absolutely no chance, Matt. We Are Blades. What's more likely to sign? Who's more likely to sign? Oh, when's Tom Cannon in January or the summer? I would probably say January, to be honest. I would probably say January because in the summer, it could be two different types of transfer window, doesn't it? Depending on what league we're in. Neil says, evening, Jimmy. Yes, I'm 100% for playing the kids, as I put it to you after the Watford game, and perhaps drop the ticket price as promotion is worth 150 million plus per season in the Prem. Yeah, they have dropped the ticket prices from what I understand. I think it's 15 quid a ticket. If you're older end, then it's concessionary rate as well. I think kids are a fiver, so it has dropped considerably. I'm still not expecting a big crowd. I'm gonna make a joke about my dad being old then, but I'm conscious that there's probably some older commenters in the group that might go for me. BBD up front and Barry on the left. Oh. It works, but you're not going to guarantee Barry games every week, are you? So I agree with earlier comment that he's more likely to get games there. Do you think we'll sign Diaz in the summer after his loan? No. Well, I don't know. I don't know, in all honesty. If he comes and he plays and he's fit for the 6 months that he's with us, then it obviously negates that concern, doesn't it? So maybe we'll have to wait and see. Is the experienced centre back Hellick? Let's hope so, Scott. Let's hope so. He scored the following week, actually, after I put him in my side, my picks. If and when Brereton Diaz comes in, says Harrison, drop Hamer to play next to Tom Davis, O'Hare number 10, BBD left, Brooksy right, and Campbell up top. Okay, what about if Chowdhury comes in and Vinny comes back? I'm here for the Leeds v Pigs hate watch. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Join us, pal. You're welcome. Meaning drop Peck. Yeah, Peck drops out, I think. Evening, Jimmy. Brereton Diaz was at the academy today. He wasn't. And Chowdhury might be one to watch up the Blades, up the Ramble, like and subscribe. You were an old video, Nev, if you've just joined us, pal. Is Lewis O'Brien still in the US of A? Yes, but he's coming back, apparently. They can't afford to buy him. So he's going to come back and may be available for loan. So expect that rumour to start again. We do like him. Who's worse, Melier or Gerbich? Garbage. Having said that, he's been playing well, hasn't he, apparently, out on loan before he got his injury, and hope he's all right, obviously. Brereton baby. Okay, thanks, Action Location, for that. Scott says, evening, Jimbo, with you 100% on playing the kids for the Cup. I was a bit late on. Did you say Chowdhury is all but there? Do you think there's any chance of a cannon? Up the Blades, up the Ram. I think there is a chance. There's a chance. I'm not saying, don't quote me on it, but I know we like him. Is where I'll I would say. Connor's been crying about a quiet transfer window earlier today. Mind games from Farker or just bad management? We all know how important this window is. Up the Blades. Up the, I cannot see how anyone can stand still when the race is so close. I do think Leeds have got the best squad in the league, but they're just going to stand still and allow us to strengthen, us and Burnley probably, around them when they so clearly need a goalkeeper. But listen, if they're not going to get one, brilliant. Who's your captain for Thursday? In my team, I've gone for Reece Norrington-Davies. Oh, Jimmy, that's a hard one. Just can't see Chowdhury starting over Vinny or Tom Davies. I can. Seems to be more of a cover, if that makes sense, rather than a starter. Do you think we can beat Leeds to signing the Irish centre-back from Forest, up the Blades, up the Ramble? We've more, a little bit like the Louis Barry argument to Derby. He gets straight into our lineup, doesn't he? He doesn't get straight into Leeds. They've got Pascal Strike, who Connor thinks is the best centre-half in the league. And they've got Joe Rodon, who they spent 10 million quid on. So if it's a straight race between us and Forest, or us and Leeds, then it's going to be us. But it's Forest we're talking about. And Man Mountain said last night on 3 Mardy Blades, they will make life as difficult as they can for us, because they always do. BBD does have a bit of an injury problem, but he would still play more than Brewster, will, and score more goals as well, says Neil. David Brooks, what a return that would be. He started and scored at the weekend in the Premier League. It's not going to happen, I don't think, that one. Evan Ferguson dropping to the Championship, says Fisherman Sid. I know, it was murmured at one point, but it's certainly gone away. Is Philip Billing coming? He again has been certainly been playing for Bournemouth recently. Sam Curtis is cup tied for the Cardiff game anyway, Jim. Oh, is it? I didn't realise that, JB. Thank you for the information. Sunderland getting that. Lafee lad is apparently great business. I've never heard of him. No, me neither, pal. Me neither. Would there be a chance of us returning for suits in the summer if we get promoted? Yeah, absolutely there would. I'd expect us to be honest. T-Lady at the Lane told me that Wilder signed a player-manager contract just to show the owners we're struggling. Don't put it past him, Nige. Don't put it past him. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely love that bloke. Proper modern defender being Harry Suter. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Adam B. Social, who I think is a Leeds boy, has said, we're signing a new keeper called Conan Ledesma from River Plate. Oh, well, congratulations on that. Right. That is that for this evening. That is us warmed up and ready for Cardiff. Play the kids. Play the kids. It's not a nothing game, but we cannot risk our main boys being injured in this recovery period. I also am desperate for us to get some bodies back and some fresh bodies in. Right. That's that for now. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Very much appreciated. But for now, come on, you red and white wizards. Up the blade!